Hello everybody, Buddy Web Midland, Texas. Super video here for you today, real quick. Permit records deleted to cover up capital crimes, question mark, okay. Layla Obrian, a CAD programmer with PBK, told me that she worked on this underground project here in Midland, which was completed in 1987 with a budget of $7.35 million on permit. I'm going to show you a record of that. I'm going to show you the print screen. She said they were put in for the Bushes, and it was called the Safe House Project. Midland is the hometown of the Bushes, two presidents. Julia Weidemann traveled from Dallas to meet with the City of Midland and see the permit records for storm shelters after hearing about my story of being shot by somebody under my home in 2012. She's an expert in permit records. Now there are multiple people documented saying that tunnels and underground homes are here, along with supporting evidence found on old Google Maps, besides proof showing that I wasn't shot with my gun. That means they're here. Julia told me, and when I asked him, James Rawls, City of Midland, about the permit records for storm shelters in Midland, he, with a smile, told me that all of the permit records prior to 2015 had been destroyed or lost due to an attempt to digitize the department's records in 2014, 2015. Keep in mind, I was ambushed and shot in 2012 and then started finding evidence, and that's when they just happened to get deleted. She then told me when I brought up the subject of the basement at Home Depot, which is directly behind my house, it clearly unnerved him. But he was downright gloating about those missing records. James Rawls, who was working for the City of Midland and the gatekeeper, the only person for these government-required records, used to work for Home Depot. I saw this on his LinkedIn page. Does tampering with evidence covering up capital murders carry the death penalty? I don't know the answer to that. You know, if you're trying to cover up a capital murder, say the little girl that was murdered, and so you're deleting records trying to cover up that capital murder, could you get the death penalty for it? I don't know. Here I want to show you right here. Okay, first of all, here's this print screen from Layla Obrian. I also have recordings of her on my YouTube channel. And 7.35 mil. I said miles. She says million on permit. On permits. That's what she's talking about. Okay, and then Julia Weidemann right here, she's the one that sent me this email here on November 22nd, 2019, and James Rawls was clearly prepared to tell me about the missing records, you know, and that's what I'd read to you. And when I asked him about the records for storm shelters, he, with a smile, told me that all the permit records had been destroyed or lost, you know. I asked him if he's the gatekeeper. He said yes. He says, but when I brought up the subject of a basement at Home Depot, it clearly unnerved him, but he was downright gloating about those missing records, you know. I covered up a murder, 2 murders, you know. Ain't that funny? Just makes people laugh, huh? Here we go. Now there are multiple people documenting saying tunnels, underground homes are here, along with supporting evidence found on Google Maps, besides proof showing I wasn't shot with my gun. That means they're here, and one of them is in my backyard at 3802 Fair Circle, Midland, Texas. In October 2010, my friend told me about a young girl that was murdered at an oil show party because she refused to prostitute, and it's believed this is where that murder happened at. She was afraid to report this murder, told me that high-level police were also at those parties. The remains of a 14 to 21-year-old girl was found outside of Midland in 2013. There's a Crime Stoppers on it. That would explain why the police have not exposed these underground crime centers and solved that murder. The previous owner of my home, Mike Lawn, is suspected of being murdered here the week before the 2008 oil show party started in the underground home in his backyard. Where are those records at, City of Midland? Here, I'm going to show you real quick. And you know, this is a Google Earth picture here. It's going to come in right here, and you can see where a ditch was cut out of the back of Home Depot coming directly to my house. In the backyard, it's where it's believed one of the underground homes are, one of the 4 3-bedroom underground homes. This is where you could go to Google Maps, put in my address, and you'd see a bunker in the backyard on the map screen, but not above ground. That's been since deleted after I notified the City of Midland. You know, it looks like they had somebody delete it to cover up capital murders. And here's a list of all the many people documented saying that these underground homes are here. One of them was running for sheriff at the time. I secretly recorded him. I mean, there's a whole long list of them, and there's absolutely can be no doubt they're here. Can be no doubt that's where that little girl was murdered at, and can be no doubt that the City of Midland and the Midland Police Department are covering up these capital murders in them underground homes. We need to get these exposed ASAP. We need to restore court, rule of law in Midland, Texas. Buddy Webb.